Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Boundary. We are here on TOI Sports, your daily show on everything cricket, Indian cricket. And right now, we have an important T20 international that's going to be played at the Chepauk MH Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai between India and England. Very shortly, we are going to have the toss. Let me start by introducing our Power Pack panel right here on this show. We have Dwaipan Datta straight from Chennai, from his house. He's unfortunately not at the stadium because everybody was asking him for tickets. Then we have Saurabh Somani, who's strategically decided to move base to Pondicherry. And then finally, we have Gaurav Gupta, who will give us all the dope. I mean, positive dope on everything that's happened in the big upset at the BKC ground here, right here in Mumbai. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. Let me start off with you, Dwaipan. The big development right before the toss. And no information coming at 10:30 right before the toss, coming at about 5:30, that India has made two changes to their lineup. We have Rinku Singh, who's out for the second and third T20, but the bigger development is that Nitish Kumar Reddy is once again suffered an injury. So he's also out of the entire T20 series, where Rinku is only missing the second and third match. The two replacements that have been named are interesting: Shivam Dubey and Ramandeep Singh. How do you see these two replacements?
Uh, the replacements are obviously like for like. And in T20 cricket, I think Shivam Dubey is a good option to have. He was there in the T20 World Cup, did quite well. He was there and thereabouts always. So he's a good option to have, and especially given the fact that the next World Cup is in India and his ability to clear these boundaries very easily. So that's fine. And the same thing works about Ramandeep Singh also. He's a very spunky cricketer. It's unfortunate for Rinku Singh though. I would have loved to see him play and more importantly bat. This boy is not getting his chances. When he is getting his chances, he's not always getting his chances to bat. And now this injury, so it's slightly unfortunate for him, but good for Ramandeep. He's a good player, and I thought he is somebody who will become part of the Indian T20 setup going forward.
Interesting. We'll have the toss in about 3 minutes' time. Saurabh, it's interesting that the selectors didn't go to any of the specialist batters, so to speak, as a replacement for Rinku Singh. Instead, went for someone like Ramandeep Singh, who can also bowl a bit. It's up for debate whether he can really bowl 4 overs. But even if he bowls 1 over, it's an advantage over somebody who doesn't do anything other than bat. How do you look at this shift in India's T20 thinking?
Yeah, I think both of us have agreed on this before on the show that we really like where India's T20 squad is going and how they're approaching things. I am perfectly fine with non like for like replacement in terms of getting an all rounder instead of a proper bat. I think they wanted somebody who can bat, like both Dubey and Ramandeep are guys who can bat slightly lower down the order, maybe Ramandeep more so than Dubey, which is where Rinku and Nitish were batting. The bowling is already, I think, covered. So these kind of guys will actually be more effective than a specialist bat, because we have seen specialist bats that tend to bat up the order only. They none of them, apart from actually Rinku, nobody comes at number 6 if they can help it. And it requires a whole different skill set to bat at number 6 in T20s. And so I'm glad that they've gone for that skill set rather than batting for batting. And by the way, Jamie Smith has received his cap. So I guess Jacob Bethel is not playing. I think he was ill. So there is
Yeah.
one change at least for England also.
So very soon we have 1 minute to go for the toss to take place at the MA Chidambaram Stadium. We would have had the update straight away from Weapon, but he chose to join us on the show rather than being at the stadium. And that's our हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि Weapon has decided to stay with us rather than be at the stadium. But Gaurav, what's the thinking behind these two replacements? We'll also get your thoughts on the toss as soon as it happens at 6:30. We are 1 minute away. What are your thoughts? Why has these two players specifically been chosen?
यार मैं तो सोच रहा था कि शिवम दुबे को मैं थोड़ा क्रिटिसाइज करूं कि उनका रेड बॉल स्क्वाड में इंक्लूजन हुआ यहाँ मुंबई में और 0-0 किंग पेयर पे आउट हुए वो, और किस्मत देखो कि वो इंडिया की T20 टीम में चले गए. वहां पर
और
सीधा
उनको पता
मैच के
होगा
बाद में
ना
पता
स्टैट
चला कि
की
वो
वो।
वहां सेलेक्ट हो गए और वहां चले गए. मतलब life it can be so strange in the life of a cricketer, that obviously this king play doesn't define the cricket that he plays, and what is there can give to the T20 team. And in our last show also I was saying this, that you cannot rule him out, and he's always going to be an option once you do not have the likes of Hardik, or even if you have Hardik as a Nitish Kumar Reddy ki jagah. Nitish obviously ahead of him in the race, but Dubey does offer. We've seen what he can do for CSK. Those lamba hits. They can be, and his ability to attack the spinners, go after them in the middle overs. That's of crucial importance, which means that he'll always be there in the game. There and thereabouts. Ramandeep Singh again, thoda KKR ka bhi usme wo hai factor hai, but then yeah, Ramandeep Singh has been performing well, and somebody I think India want to invest in going forward. Injury to Rinku Singh again, unlucky guy. He's been sort of not been getting too many chances, or injured ho gaye. And the other
I'll just update.
as far as
I'll just
NKR is
update you
concerned,
guys.
yeah.
Gaurav, I'll just update everybody that India has won the toss and elected to bowl first. So once again, they are opting to chase. You would have thought that they would want to challenge themselves in this format by batting first and putting up a score. You need to keep testing yourself, like Doipen keeps saying on the show. So India has chosen to field. So that's the update that I wanted to give you guys. Go on, and also Gaurav, I wanted to know, because you have a ear to the ground. Are the selectors now increasingly looking at players who are doing more than one thing in the T20 format? That's the trend that I'm spotting since the end of the T20 World Cup. Am I misreading it, or is that the trend that you're also spotting after talking to selectors and your sources?
No, 100% Chandresh. I think that has been the thinking of the selector, which is why Shivam Dubey actually edged out Rinku Singh in the 11 and in the squad. I think Rinku was in the reserves. I think that has been the thinking of the selectors, which is why Nitish Kumar Reddy was also drafted in, which is why Ramandeep Singh has also been drafted in. So you've got guys who are increasingly coming, guys who can bowl 3-4 overs. Which is why Riyan Parag also was given a chance. He can bowl, and I think he can bowl reasonably well,
So
and he's
where
also
does
a
that
brilliant fielder.
where does that leave a Shubman Gill then? He's obviously not in the T20 mix then.
They've, by the way, they have gotten Dhruv Jurel and Washi Sundar in the
Oh,
11.
interesting. Yeah, we'll come to
Yeah,
that
No,
11.
very interesting.
So we'll get that updated 11, because I think Shivam was in Mumbai. He must not have caught the flight on time for the. And
no,
also,
no,
I
no.
I don't.
Shivam, no, Chandresh. Shivam is supposed to reach Rajkot. He's not supposed to
Oh,
be available for this match. He has
what
been
about
told to go to Rajkot. He's flying to Rajkot tomorrow.
I'm supposing even Ramandeep might reach Rajkot directly.
Yeah, yeah, possibly. The replacements are for the Rajkot match, not for.
So
I mean, they were never supposed to reach Chennai anytime soon.
So, by that logic that you've just told us, Gaurav, where does that leave? Say, Yashasvi Jaiswal will be in that T20 World Cup squad whenever it is unveiled for next year's tournament. Then there is obviously Jasprit Bumrah that you can't ignore, and you might also need a Kuldeep Yadav, because he's also a too good a bowler to be left out of this format. Where does that leave specifically a Shubman Gill?
I think ODI
Once
is
again on the
definitely
sidelines.
pretty much there. On the
Once
sidelines,
again,
I fear, because see, he's now competing with Abhishek Sharma, his statemate and his close friend, and fellow opener perhaps. Because Abhishek Sharma जो है उनके ऊपर investment किया गया, और वो investment I was also pessimistic about it, but then the way he has exploded in the last match, he is beginning to, and from what people who follow cricket in Punjab, people who have been sort of played for Punjab and all, they tell me that Abhishek is next level talent when it comes to the shorter formats. His ability, and he's somebody who's been groomed by Yuvraj Singh. And somebody who can sort of push the scoring at a lot more faster rate than Gill. Which is,
and
I
if
feel sad
required,
for Gill, because Gill has had IPLs where he scored 800, 900 runs. I think last, before this IPL, the previous two IPLs that
but
he's had.
but he can't bowl
But he can't bowl. Yeah, that's a major drawback. Unless you are an out and out, match winning batsman, I
like
think it's
Surya,
difficult to.
like Surya. You have a valid point. So, Dwaipan, India has made two changes. Washington Sundar and Dhruv Jurel have come in place of Nitish Kumar Reddy and Rinku Singh, which means one more spinner, but still no sign of Mohammed Shami, still no sign of Harshit Rana. How do you read this selection once again?
See, they are quite clearly they are like obsessing about the result here, and for that this is a track that which is essentially spinner friendly, and they have stacked their team with as many spinners as possible. So they have now four specialist spinners, which is kind of unheard of in T20 cricket. But then it probably works in the drier conditions in the evening in Chennai. So it works fine for them. And as far as the media, because the pace bowling, yes, it is not the ideal situation. Of course, there should be Shami should have been playing, but I don't know. Like this is what they are going to go with because they're winning this T20 series is more important to them than probably experimenting at this stage, and so that's how they are going about it because spinners will probably win them the game again.
That's what Kuldeep Shearon, one of our subscribers, is just telling us. He said India is preparing for T20 World Cup 2026 or just wants to win the series. Again, choose to ball first. One-sided match again. So he's echoing your thoughts.
Yeah, that seems like the unless you challenge yourself for situations which will come at you against a good opponent like this, then what's the point? Like we saw South Africa in the last series, they were winning the toss and they were choosing to field. They are a bat first team. They lost four T20s, but they were trying. You could see that there was that effort in them. I think in India should be doing this. After 3-0, it's fine. The series is won, the pressure level comes down, and it becomes a different game altogether. Then doing it doesn't make much of a difference. You should do that in pressure situations. Probably that this team needs victories more than anything else at this point. So this is their way to go.
Sports fan says Gigi has too much pressure. Gigi, are you feeling too much pressure? At least let him win one bilateral. But we'll come to our Gigi later. But Saurabh, do you think that it's more to do with the pressure that the other Gigi is feeling rather than what Dwaipan wants them to do?
Actually, I think that's a fair point. He has had the other GG. Our GG has been on a winning streak only. Other fellow hasn't win so much. So I'm sure he'll be feeling the pressure कि अभी कुछ तो जीतना है. But the thing is, what I can't understand, Chandresh, you have been a broadcaster. Is it normal to not even ask Suryakumar Yadav, the captain, at the toss when there is such a big thing like a player has come back after 1.5 years, a player who should have, according to me, been the man of the series in the 2023 World Cup? He has come back after 1.5 years, and you don't even ask like what is his status, because if he's in the squad, you would think he would be in the 11. But क्यों नहीं है? What is the
Cristiano
thinking?
Ronaldo is asking that question, but go on.
नहीं, like I'm wondering about, we do our analysis here and all, but it is on broadcasters have to serve the audience, not the team or the or anything, right? So they
I
should be,
think
this question should be asked.
Saurabh, that's a very noble thought, but we are not in an ideal scenario, so that won't happen. So we have to depend on our crack reporter like Gigi or Oroni in Delhi to provide us information about what is happening. You basically you want to eat into their work. They are doing their work. They are finding out information. You don't like that. You are sitting far away in Pondicherry. You don't like the fact that Gigi, Orani, and others who are following and tracking selectors and BCCI, they should not do their work. You should get information officially. What will they do if every information will come officially?
For all the listeners listening, please understand I have the highest regard for what the what work Gigi and all do, and Chandresh is a very mischievous person. Don't listen to him.
But Gigi, it's a very fair point. You track the BCCI so much. It's a good thing that the press release came before the match started. It came during daytime where the sun was still out, not at the night when everybody is just about to put the newspaper to sleep. Uh, this fact that no information is coming forward. This is the 11, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. India has made two changes to the 11. Dhruv Jurel has come in and Washington Sundar has come in. These two changes are forced changes because Nitish Kumar Reddy is out of the T20 series and Rinku Singh is out of the second and third T20 international. There is nothing to say that he's out of the full series. It could well happen. But Gigi, the big question: what is happening with Mohammed Shami? Everybody on the on our chat window has only one question. We are worried about Bumrah already, we are sweating about Bumrah, though Bumrah has a different take on it. But Shami, he has already scoffed at rumors that he's unfit and everything. Now he's in the squad, still not being picked. What is this big mystery? What is India holding? Why is India holding him back?
I think they're Chandesh, they're somehow saving him for the Champions Trophy. I'm not too confident about his fitness now because when I've not been confident about his fitness from the time read Archiman Badri's report, our TOI reporter in Kolkata before the first T20. We carried a picture of Shami bowling with a strapped leg, heavily strapped leg, and that for me was a scary sight. And I was wondering कि क्या हो रहा है ये? And then now you have a situation where he's not played so far in the two matches, which doesn't again reflect well on NCA after having prevented him from going to Australia. Saying that वो red ball नहीं खेल पाएगा वहाँ पे, he'll not be able to bear the burden of the red ball. He played all through domestic cricket, and now you have a situation where we don't know what is happening with him because वो दोनों match नहीं खेला है. So and with Bumrah, I really doubt that he'll be there for the Champions Trophy. I think that's just been there. His name has been just been kept there so that the opponents don't feel कि अरे Bumrah is out. Let them sort of feel for some time कि he can make it, he can make it. I don't think he can make it. I think they will rest him because they will want him fit and firing for the England tour as far as India is concerned. For Mumbai Indians, obviously the concern will be whether he can play in the at least a few matches in the IPL. Coming back to Shami, I fear the worst. I think they're sort of trying to bide their time because this series actually does not have too much context and relevance and importance. The bigger deal is the Champions Trophy for which he needs to play in the ODI series against England. I think that will be the final marker for him. If he does not play there, then I think it's goodbye to his chances in the Champions Trophy as well. And coming back to information coming from the BCCI, mean, I was just, I'll tell you guys in 2000 when I joined the Times of India in 2000 around 2007. I think India A team had come from for a tour to India. England A team had come in the England lands team had come to India, and I remember I became good friends with their media manager Mark Ward. And even अगर किसी को खांसी भी होती थी तो मुझे मैसेज करता था that XYZ player has developed a cough, so this and that. And by the time I would reach CCI where they were practicing, I would get all the updates from him. Then that was not the age of WhatsApp or even mails भी हम check करते थे, but not that frequently. Our phones were not smartphones, but every detail I would have by the time I reached the ground. And by the time I reached the office, I had a complete information with me when I would sit down to write my report. So you're talking about that professionalism hasn't come in this setup, unfortunately, from the time that we all started doing journalism and so on and so forth. So it's a sad situation that हम लोगों को रोज 10 तरह के फोन घुमाओ, यहाँ से पता करो, वहां से वो पता करो, और फिर वो गलत निकला तो उसकी ट्रोलिंग भी होती है. So we don't know whether what is going on, what the left hand is doing, with the right hand does
Also,
not know what the left hand is doing. It's a
also
sad
there has been
situation.
there has been situation where they have not announced the team, but the players who are part of the squad are already in the venue for a series. So you follow their Instagram account to find out that they've reached that venue. That has also happened not too long
100%.
ago. Not too long ago. So, Dwaipan, I can feel for Gigi and the others because they are truly multimedia reporters. Like keep track of multiple things. In that scenario, not playing even a Harshit Rana, do you think that they are holding him back as well in that sense? Because they are worried कि अगर वो भी injured हो गया या T20 series में कुछ भी हो सकता है, मतलब as in like it has come to that stage, तो anything can happen then.
लगता नहीं है, but I don't think they're holding Harshit Rana back. I think they are simply going by the best possible about Shami. Most probably they are holding him back, as Gigi is saying, and we are also guessing that they are probably just easing him back into the setup, not overburdening him with games, because it is quite certain by now that Shami will not play beyond white ball cricket. White ball cricket is where he is going to be. It is very unlikely
Right.
that he is going to go back to red ball cricket, and the rigors of red ball cricket are over for him. So,
Okay.
so they want to probably, because they know that Shami is their trump, will probably be their trump card for Champions Trophy. They want to ease him into the setup, not overburden him with overs here. That is one point. And Harshit Rana, I don't think he may probably get a game somewhere down the line. This is about just winning this series, and for winning this series against this England side which cannot play spin to save their lives. I think this is the best way to go.
Uh, we have a lot to pack in the next 15 minutes before the first ball is bowled. Saurabh, looking at the 11, I get a sense since 2017, when Hardik became a regular in both T20s and ODIs, India has been looking at Hardik as the fourth pacer, it seems to me, because 2019 ODI World Cup also he was looked at like that. 2021, they brought in Shardul at the last minute. So they've been looking at Hardik as a fourth fast bowler, a fourth option with the pace bowling department. Whereas the rest of us outside the system haven't been looking at it. Am I right in my assessment in that sense?
Okay, the way he bowled in the last match, he bowled like a fourth pacer only, not like a first two. So, but I think you're right. Maybe it's also about workload management, right? Like you want Hardik to be available for a lot, so maybe you don't want him to uh, get the workload of full quota of overs every match. Uh, although at his peak, I think Hardik was a legitimate, bowling threat also. But maybe now it's a little bit less, at least based on the last match. The last match, I think he started off like quite poorly. Obviously, the spinners came and just wreaked havoc, so there was nobody to take advantage of that. Otherwise, Arshdeep had bowled 3 overs in the power play. If Hardik would have been coming back at the death, it would have been interesting if England were only like 4-5 down and they could face him. But that didn't happen, of course. Uh, about the whole Shami thing, yeah, I think the weapon by what he said is probably true, but it's a little sad, isn't it, that we won't be able to see him in red ball cricket anymore because he has been such a fantastic bowler. Anytime the ball moves, he's just beautiful to watch. So I think we'll miss that.
And one player, Gigi, that no one talks about and is flying under the radar, so to speak, is the captain, Suryakumar Yadav. He's not had a major score for a very long time now in T20 cricket. Even in the T20 World Cup, he flattered to deceive. Like post T20 World Cup, look at his record. He's 11 matches. He's had 250s. Uh, but it's also a function of the fact that people like Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Tilak Verma have done bulk of the scoring. Is that a cause for concern at all, Suryakumar Yadav's form right now?
आई थिंक इट इज, आई थिंक इट इज। मुझे तो समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कप्तानी गले का फंदा बन गई यार। जो भी कप्तानी करता है उसका फॉर्म चला जाता है। रोहित शर्मा का भी ऐसे ही फॉर्म चला गया। वी आर ऑलरेडी स्ट्रगलिंग विद दैट, एंड विद बुमराह's fitness being uncertain, we cannot even sort of think about a new captain, and then suddenly you have Surya's form dipping. That is the other concern. So I don't know, it's a bit scary. Surya should recover his form fast, and I'm hoping that he does. He's made a few sacrifices, and he's led the team very well. The T20 team is now his baby, out and out, clearly, and he's having a say in selection and choosing the right personnel. And I think the way he's encouraged Sanju, backed Sanju Samson to open and come good. Abhishek Sharma also, and I keep telling him that all these guys are now sort of they're thriving off the backing that Surya is giving them. They're playing that fearless cricket, and the way they go after the ball from ball one. So I mean, India need a captain in T20 cricket like that. It's just that uska khud ka form thoda sa concern hai, and I think he needs to pick up because I've been watching it for a while, and a few fans have been telling me that Surya has been not scoring runs, and it is a concern, no doubt. I do not believe in this concept कि अरे नहीं class है, form needs to be there somewhere around. Other than the big tournaments come and the form doesn't return, then you'll see the effects of that.
And Dwaipan, this selfless. Yeah, go on, go on. Dwaipan, you
No,
wanted to say?
I no, I think in 250 250s in 11 games isn't exactly very bad, because when it comes to test cricket, 1 century in 3 test matches is greatness. In T20 cricket, 150 in 4 games or 5 games is par for the course. And the kind of cricket that they are playing, there will be the odd occasion, maybe twice, thrice, when you are going to get out little cheaply. But once in 3 games, once in 4 games, if he gets that one match winning effort, then it's fine, because that is the brand of cricket that they are playing, where they are not bothering for the amount of runs that they are scoring. Like if you see, Sanju Samson scores 200s and 2 zeros in South Africa. So it is going to be like that for this team, where they will not play for their runs and they will keep look for the 200 strike rate through and through. So these small blips will happen here and there. We should not break our head over an average of 23 in T20 cricket. I think what is more important is the strike rate here. I would have liked to
Yeah.
see the strike rate than the
So
average.
I can tell you that Dwepan Bhai, his strike rate is 165.5 and his
Okay.
overall career strike rate is 167.5. So he's
Okay.
still
Not bad.
batting the same way.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're scoring at 10 runs and over, you're taking risks. If you take risks, there will be a stretch of matches where you get low scores. So I also don't think it's a cause for worry actually. I think I'm happy that the team is playing like this. I would rather have 23 of 12 balls by all the top 7 rather than one guy scoring 40 of 30.
That's a huge vote of confidence, Gaurav, considering the result that you had to see today, Mumbai losing at the hands of Jammu and Kashmir. Two non-Mumbai Curs have given a huge vote of confidence to a Mumbai player. And you see a fantastic performance by Jammu and Kashmir to beat a fancied Mumbai side. There's been a lot of comments. First of all, what is the status with Umran Malik and Mayank Yadav? And also a lot of comments about Yudhvir Singh and Umar Nazir. So the fast bowling, Saptarishi DG has been commenting about the fast bowling strength of Jammu and Kashmir. So a lot to pack in. So if you can quickly give us an update about Umran, Mayank, and the Jammu and Kashmir fast bowlers.
उमरान और मयंक दोनों एनसीए में हैं और एनसीए का पता नहीं, लेकिन हाँ दोनों इंजर्ड हैं और दोनों कुछ टाइम के लिए इंजर्ड हैं, रीजनेबली लंबे टाइम के लिए.
They'll be
मयंक
fit
यादव ऑफ
by
कोर्स हैज बीन
March
इंजर्ड.
15th. Will they be
सॉरी,
fit by March 15th?
March 22 है ना अभी?
पॉसिबली
Okay,
मार्च
okay.
21, मार्च 21
21
पॉसिबली,
sorry.
पॉसिबली तब तक शायद फिट हो जाए, बट
Okay.
एज
Just
ऑफ
like
नाउ तो
Deepak
नहीं,
Chahar.
मतलब ये लोग गए
Just like
वहां
Deepak
भी.
Chahar.
हाँ हाँ, वहां तक शायद
Okay.
मसल्स इनके हो जाए, बट आई एम वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड बाय कमिंग टू जे एंड के. दे एक्चुअली डिड नॉट मिस उमरान मलिक because the way Yudhvir Singh, Umar Nazir, and Akib bowled in the three fast bowlers, it was a sight to see. They were all three of them were brilliant, absolutely. Yudhvir Singh, I'm very impressed by. All these fast bowlers are pretty well built, and have decent pace, can generate decent bounce and bowled at the right areas. And Ajinkya Rahane was full of praise for them, for keeping the pressure up throughout both the innings. They did not, sort of their shoulders did not drip, despite the great Mumbai, typical great Mumbai fight back that we saw when Shardul Thakur and Tanush Kotan had that long 170, 180 odd partnership. Uh, Today morning they came, they did their job. 16 runs के अंदर ही 3 विकेट ले लिए, 290 के अंदर समेट लिया मुंबई को. They had their nervy moments in the chase, but I think that this win was shaped almost entirely by their fast bowling trio. The spinners hardly had a role to play in it, and the batters sort of just about got the job done. Obviously, their opener Shubham did pretty well, but all in all, it was their fast bowlers who dominated the show. I think Yudhvir Singh is a name to be sort of tracked and to be sort of taken forward to in Indian cricket.
Cristiano Ronaldo mentions that it's yet another loss for Rohit Sharma. So he had three
Yeah.
test matches against New Zealand, three in Australia. Now one more loss.
Midas
Dwepan,
touch, Midas touch हो गया उनका.
Dwepan, we're just 7 minutes to go before the first ball. What is happening? So we had a massive piece on him somewhere talking about the way he has changed Indian cricket. Since then, he's not had a single win in any format anywhere.
Yeah, things quite clearly are not going in his favor. Like it is not happening for him. The game suddenly has deserted him. It seems he was a hand-eye coordination player who played with timing, etc., etc. That touch has deserted him big time, and that is bothering him. I'm extremely worried how it is going to magically come back for Champions Trophy. That's why, like, because there are no though in the second innings he scored 28. Some of the shots I was looking at the highlights. Some of the shots looked good though. He walked down the track and just hit the bowler over the bowler's head. Those were small little signs of probably coming back to form, but 28 isn't um, numbers enough to to inspire confidence. So let's hope that he has a good Champions Trophy, and then he says what needs to be said from him, something that we had heard from him in Barbados.
So, so Didi is making a big statement. Didi is making a big statement here. We just thought that he was supporting Mumbai cricketers, but clearly that was a thing of the past very soon. So, will he play against Meghalaya? We need to see if Rohit plays against Meghalaya to get some runs under his belt and see if he's able to score off the Meghalaya attack. That remains to be seen. That game starts on 30th. But Saurabh, Shubman Gill scored 100 for Punjab, led from the front. That should stand him in good stead. At least some runs under his belt before the tougher assignment against England and then the Champions Trophy. That's a good sign. We have 5 minutes to go for the first ball.
Yeah, I'm really glad Shubman Gill got runs because, like I was saying earlier, also in Australia, I think he left at least 100 runs in the bank. He could have, whatever his series tally was, if it was 200, he should have scored 300 in that series because he got himself out more than bowlers getting him out, and I'm glad that he could at least play that innings that is due, sort of, and get back into. I mean, yeah, it's obviously a different format, but at least his mind space will be better. Which unfortunately, yeah, Rohit Sharma ka pata nahi how it will be. I mean, I'm assuming Rohit Sharma is more mentally strong than most people, but even with that, how much do you take before you crack? It's a question. I don't know.
Okay, let's do a final round of questions with all three gentlemen. Gigi, first to you. Second T20 International. Is it going to be 2-0 India or 1-all?
इट कुड बी 2-0. आई थिंक चेन्नई 4 स्पिनर खेल रहे हैं. मैं तो ये भी मतलब बड़ा क्यूरियस हूँ, 4 स्पिनर खेल रहे हैं. मतलब जब जब T20 क्रिकेट आया था, आई रिमेंबर अ कपल ऑफ स्पिनर्स टेलिंग मी कि अब ये जो आखिरी, एंड हरभजन सिंह गिवन अ स्टेटमेंट, आई रिमेंबर कि एक आखिरी जो स्पिनर्स के लिए वो था वो भी गया अभी. और ये भाई डेट है, एक जमाने में इंडिया 4 स्पिनर खिलाता था टेस्ट मैच में, इवन ओवरसीज, एंड दैट यूज्ड टू बी आवर स्ट्रेंथ. And now we are playing 4 spinners at T20 match. It's just
And
unbelievable how
four
times
seamers in a
this
test match.
thing.
Huh? And four seamers in a test match.
And four seamers in a test match
And 4
sometimes.
seamers in a test match. So
So, Saurabh,
imagine, and in a format where people will look to go after the spinners. But I think Washi is an excellent addition, and he will only add more strength to the side, both in bowling as well as batting.
and
And
fielding.
Varun को तो वो लोग बिल्कुल ही read कर पा रहे हैं. I think it should be 2-0 to India, regardless of the injuries that we are suffering.
Saurabh, your take?
2-0 India.
2-0 India. The final word rests with Dohepan, whose home city, Kolkata, provided so much trouble to the English batters that they couldn't spot the ball. I'm hoping at least your adopted city provides them with proper clean air for them to spot the ball. Dohepan,
Yes,
come on, please do something about it.
no. The air is cleaner than Calcutta, that I can assure you. And yes, but the score has to be 2-0. I really don't see anything else in this match. I think it will be a 5-0. It'll be a 5-0. That's how this T20 series is
So
going.
Dohepan is
I
making
have
big
I have one
pronouncements
thought.
here. Yeah, go on, Saurabh.
What if India had batted second with four spinners? That would have been
Oh,
interesting.
that would have been very interesting.
Huh,
That would have been very
that would
interesting.
have been the
If they had
test for
lost
the
the toss,
spinners.
so because
Chandresh,
11th over decided, you didn't know you're going to win the toss or not. It could have been bowling second also.
Yeah.
Chandresh,
Yeah, Gigi, you wanted to say
आपने
something?
I was saying that आपने शुभमन गिल के 100 का बोला, लेकिन आपने रविंद्र जडेजा का नहीं बोला यार. उन्होंने इतने विकेट लिए,
वो कल बात
7.
कर लिया हमने. हमने
अच्छा,
कल
कल बात
बात किया था. कल बात किया था.
ओके.
हम किसी के भी एंटी या प्रो नहीं है. हम सिर्फ गेम के साथ है.
मैं ट्रोल करने वाला था आपको.
You spend so much time with writing about the game, boy, so you should know that.
But we should end before the first wicket falls, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just about to start in 1 minute's time. Thanks a lot,
चलो
gentlemen.
yeah.
Saurabh, Didi, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
you, the viewer, thanks a lot. Please keep liking, sharing, and subscribing the channel. And don't forget to press the notification bell. We'll be back again to review the second T20 International right here on TOI Sports on Beyond the Boundary. Goodbye, good night, and God bless.